Hello, this is Dennis. I'm using this phone to record the audio. Okay, let me set it up in my share so that I can start. Alright, so I've always wanted to make this video to show how I handle photography in the field. So happened I captured an event on 4th January 2024, and the person I hired to record for me the video for the event was able also to record me when I was capturing the photos. So today I'm going to I'm going to explain how I capture photos, and I'm going to also explain all that I've passed through. Okay, for that particular event I will be able to put in like videos to show you how I took the photos, how I kept it from obstructing the event and all that. I have a Canon 6D. I have a 50mm lens. It is f1.8 up to I think f22. So the issue with the events in Uganda is that, I mean, a person will tell you we have an introduction event. I think other countries will call it families meeting families of the groom meeting the family of the bride. So, but the issue is that they will not tell you the details. For example, this particular event, I was told we are going to capture an event indoor and outdoor. That was the information I was given. And guess what? When we reached there, actually we captured the whole event indoor completely. And this one is just a side note. This house had not yet got electricity. It had solar panels, and the solar panels could not charge our batteries for the cameras. So basically we had to use what we had charged. And also that means that the lighting you could not adjust the lighting. Me as a photographer, I could adjust mine. I could add the flash, but the person of the video had a Canon Mark 6D. Yeah. So all he had to do is to actually increase the ISO so that he can capture the video, because he could not use any external light. There was no source of power. So those are some of the challenges we find actually when we are capturing. So I'm going to display some of the photos I took that day, and also I'm going to explain a bit of why I decided to take them in these particular settings. Actually, I'm going to read out the settings I used. Yeah, so what happened, at first I took some few photos and I could notice that they were really dark because the room was really dark. It wasn't so dark, but like you could only take a brighter photo from a certain angle. So since my lens is f1.8, at first I tried taking photos at f2.8, but f2.8, what happened was the photos were dark and I knew they would disturb me to edit, because you know dark photos are really harder to edit. So I decided to use f1.8. Yeah, I've reviewed many videos on YouTube, and also photographers, most of them do not encourage to use f1.8 because you easily miss the focus, and that was very true. So what I decided to do was I captured at f1.8, but I made sure I was focusing from the LCD in the screen behind, because with my eye I could easily lose the focus actually, but with the LCD behind I could easily first zoom in and see the focus, get to the focus right, then take the photo. So that's what I was doing, and so I was able to capture the event very well. Then what I did also, I was in manual mode. I put the exposure time at 1 over 60, 160 second, 1 over 160 over second, and then I put the ISO at 500. So I decided so that the photos do not have a lot of noise and all that, and also to me the photos are coming out as I would have wanted them to come out. And then exposure bias was at 0, and at some points, let us assume in some corners I was putting it at 1 plus 1 over 3, and the focal length was 50 millimeter. It is not a zoom lens, it's a prime lens, so it does not zoom in or zoom out. Metering mode is pattern. Flash mode was compulsory. Actually, every photo I took, I had to use a flash. Yeah, because it was inside a room, inside the house. Okay. Exposure program menu, white balance, I left it to auto. I personally don't like changing white balance. Really, I don't see what it does to me. People for video normally change the white balance so that they can either get more light or get the colors they want, but for photography I normally don't change white balance personally. Photometric interpretation was RGB. EXIF version was 0230. Item type was JPEG. Personally I do not capture in RAW. Yeah, I've had people encourage others to capture in RAW. Yeah, everyone has his style, but most people, what I concluded was most people who encourage people to capture RAW have cameras that are dual SIM, dual card slot cameras. So what happens? Most of them have Nikon D8, D800, Nikon is it D8000? I don't know. Like it has two cards. So what happens? He dedicates one card for RAW, he dedicates the other card for JPEG. But in my experience, mine has only one card. So, and based on the situation I was in, I decided to capture JPEG because this event was first of all being quickened. Everything I was capturing, actually, the event would have taken maybe 4 hours, but it was done in 2 hours. So there was no those things of waiting because RAW is heavy, and since RAW is heavy, what happens is that it becomes slower to record on my, especially on my camera. My camera is over 12 years old really, so unless maybe I get a Canon R6, maybe I would do better than that. So for now I think that's what the introduction. I'll be putting some photos of how they were captured by me, and also some of my videos as I captured them. Now in editing, as of now, today is 17th January 2024. In editing, I use Photoshop 2021. I hope to get Photoshop 2023. Yeah. So in Photoshop 2021, I open the photo. Then I don't. Okay, this part I will skip it because I don't really use it. Then I'll go to filter, camera raw, and then or I press Shift Ctrl A. Then to open in camera raw. When it opens in camera raw, personally I made my own preset. Yes, my preset, when I load it, what it does, it increases the exposure to plus 0.30. It reduces the contrast to -20. It reduces the highlights to -39. But this one you can change it using you press down the Alt and slide based on how you want it. Personally, I slide it so that I see only a few whites in my photo. Then shadows, I always add +20 just in case, because what I noticed that if I don't add the +20 on the shadows, is that some of my details in the photo are lost. Okay, they stay dark, so I decided to add +20 on shadows so that they can brighten up a bit. Whites are -80, but this one is changeable. You press down Alt and then adjust. Personally, I adjust until there are few whites in the photo. Then blacks also -37. This one also is changeable. I press down Alt and adjust until maybe I only have a bit of red, but no, I make sure the black has just disappeared. Then I stop there. Then texture 0, or sometimes I can add +10. Clarity +10. Saturation +10. Then under details, sharpening, this one I add +50, but sometimes when you add plus 50, the photo seems to be too, how can I say, too sharp. So sometimes I would advise you add plus 30 instead, or 20, so that okay, it is sharper but not too sharp that everyone notices so much. Then noise reduction 0, color noise reduction 0. Then under color mixing, most cases nowadays people like greens when they are stronger, so I decided to add plus 20 on greens. Yeah, that is if a photo has maybe plants in the background and all that. Then after I'm done, I'll show all this in the video. After I'm done, I'll go to the clone stamp. My clone stamp is at size 202 pixels. Hardness is 0%. Now I set opacity at 50% and flow at 80%. Flow at 60%. Opacity is 50. Flow is 60%. Then I press Alt with the mouse wheel to zoom in while moving it forward. Then I use Alt to pick pixels, then replace pixels. I click with left click with the mouse so that I can replace the pixels somewhere. So I use that style to basically smoothen the photo my way. I use that just in case I have too many photos and I need to finish them quickly. There are many other advanced ways to actually smoothen a photo. Some people use smudge, others use more. There are more alternatives. Actually, I'll link one of the videos I think which sorts that issue very well in the comment section, description. Now then I press Ctrl Alt I, and this one brings me image size. I set my images to, if they are horizontal, I set them to 12 by 8 inches. Resolution, I set it at 300. Then I can press Ctrl S or Ctrl Shift S. When you press Ctrl S, you basically replace the image you had with the new one you've edited. But when you press Ctrl Shift S, it brings the Save As option, so you can rename the image so that you don't replace the original. But personally, what I do for photography, I create a folder of the selected photos, then I create another folder or copy of that folder of the selected photos, but this one is to be the edited photos. So all I have to do once I've edited the photo, I just press Ctrl S so that I just basically have a folder which has edited photos and I have a folder which has selected original photos. So I don't have to worry about it. I press Ctrl S or what now. Then the reason I set my photos to 12 by 8 inches by 300 resolution is that in WhatsApp I realized I can send that photo as HD. Otherwise, in Uganda we normally print photos at 4 by 6 inches. That is the printing size. But the issue with that is that if you try to save all your photos at 4 by 6, first of all, a lot of information is lost. The photo is really small. And also, if you send it on WhatsApp, no one will really understand how clear the photo was. It is like, some people even can complain that it's like a phone photo. So it really loses a lot of information. So me, what I've decided, I'll save my photos at 12 by 8 by 300 resolution. That is, those are the photos I sent to a client. So all the details, most of my editing even can be noticed. And just in case a person wants to print a big photo A4 size, I can print it when it's still very clear. And if I need to print, I can create another folder, and then all those photos, I now resize them to 4 by 6 for printing. So it's a win-win. It is better to have a bigger photo I can reduce than a small photo you're trying to increase, because a bigger photo is better in every way. So that's how I do my editing. So this video I wanted to talk about how I do editing or how I do capturing of photos, how I do editing, and then so I think that is it. The other thing, for this particular event, actually I was putting on this shirt and that black jean. I thought I would be invisible a bit at least, and I was trying to keep away from the video person as he was capturing the video. We were two photographers. One photographer was for the family, but me, I was a hired photographer, and my video person was also hired by me actually. So I hope you enjoy this video as you watch it. I didn't want to make it long, but at least I wanted to add this information. Yeah. So, but otherwise, in the field, things are really different from from the way people think, really. because you reach an event and it's an outdoor event, reach an event, it's an indoor event. And well, the other thing I would add on is that for the 50 millimeters, it required me to be like 1 meter or 2 meters away from the people that I was capturing photos from on, and it was helping me a bit to keep away from them, but also it was okay for the other person, the other photographer for me had a full frame camera, but still me, I preferred mine. At least I was away from the people. The issue with being away from the people is that you have to increase the flashlight so that it can reach the people. So sample photos will be shown. I'll put some of them, and I hope you like this video. At least I wanted this to be the, on how they call it, hands-on video, to show you how I do the things, how I even edit them, and how everything comes out. So I hope you like this video. Forgive me for this video recording. The reason I've recorded it at 640 by 480 is that I didn't want you to see a lot of details besides me. Otherwise I would have recorded it at 1920 by 1080, but it will be wide and I don't want you to see a lot of information in my room. So I decided to record it in this square like version so that you can at least focus on me. But the videos I'll be adding into the video, for them they'll be, I think, wider, because the person who recorded them at 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, but mine I recorded it at 50 frames per second. Alright, I think that is it. That's what I wanted to share. For any questions, you can comment and you can ask. Yeah, so I'm glad I've done this video. I've always wanted to do one. Yes, a friend of mine used to use a Pixel phone to record such things and upload them, but I've decided to use a camera, and since everything I'm talking about is about a camera, I think it's good. So may God bless you, and thanks for watching.